Hello, everybody. We are live. Today we have Bob and Sandy as a guest. Skipper just landed at the airport, so he's on his way home, so he won't be here tonight. And I know a lot of you saw Sandy earlier on Bob's stream, but I'm going to highlight her for a minute so she can tell us about her cause, which is super awesome, guys. We want to help. We want to help as much as we can, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna put Sandy up for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
I see puppies in the background.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my baby. This one, why she's beside me. This one here, Sadie, is a dog that I followed her story on the SPCA Puerto Vallarta Facebook page from the day that she was rescued, and I fell in love with her right away, and I went and met her 3 months later and adopted her and brought her home from Mexico. So this is Sadie. If
She,
y'all watch my video that I uploaded earlier today, you'll see the condition that she was in when she was rescued and how she turned into such a beautiful dog. But
she
anyway,
is she is a cutie.
yeah, she is. She's adorable. And this little sweetheart, this is Milo, and Jordy's down there. So I'll give you a little brief, um, kind of why this GoFundMe means so much to me. Is about 6 years ago, I took my first trip to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which is on the west coast of Mexico, and it's beautiful. Like I fell in love with it the very first time I went, and I met a woman there. I was going on one of those what do they call it, like timeshare type deals where you can get free stuff. Like I wanted a ticket to go onto an excursion, so I went on this thing and I met this woman, and we started talking about dogs, and she told me about the Puerto Vallarta FPCA. So I couldn't do anything that particular trip, but I went back the next year, and she set it up for me to go and volunteer. So I went and volunteered, and I went twice in 1 week, and it's such a beautiful sanctuary, and what they do there is so amazing. I've never seen anything like the streets of Puerto Vallarta, or not just Puerto Vallarta, but probably everywhere in Mexico, where dogs just are running around all over the place. They're sleeping on the side of the road. They're getting hit by cars. I've never seen it like that before. So I go down probably at least 2 times a year, sometimes three, um, and I spend all my time volunteering at the FPCA. And on Saturday, this past Saturday, Hurricane Nora hit the west coast of Mexico, and it delivered massive rain, caused total flooding, and unfortunately, the sanctuary that I hold dear to my heart was destroyed, like gone. But they ended up saving 58 dogs, and unfortunately, we lost 3 cats and a dog, and but the rest are in a school. The school allowed the dogs to come there for refuge, and so they're dry, they're safe, everything's good with the 58 dogs that were saved. But we did lost 4 fur babies, and so they're getting lots of donations for of dog food and dog bowls because they lost all supplies as well. And but we need to rebuild it, you know, and get this place going because every single day there's a dog rescued off the streets of Mexico. And even when I'm there, like, you know, every day I found a dog. And so that's kind of the backstory of how I got started with the SPCA. And I'm devastated. Like it just broke my heart when I woke up Sunday morning and I saw a post from my friend Stephanie, who's also a dedicated person to the SPCA. Posted. It just broke my heart. So every little bit helps, and if you can't uh, if you can't donate money, I understand that. But if you go to the GoFundMe, there's a share button, and even if you can just share it out to all your friends on Facebook or any social media that you have, the more exposure we get, the more it helps, right?
And tell us about how it was set up, because I liked how you were telling us about was a therapeutic swimming pool for the dogs that needed it, and
Hey, Terry.
Yeah.
Emergency room for dogs that needed like to be doctored up and stuff, and all that ICU and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, several years ago, a woman named Janice Chatterton moved to Puerto Vallarta, and she saw the need for a shelter for these dogs that live on the street. And there's probably thousands of dogs that live on the street in Puerto Vallarta. Uh, so, anyways, she started this shelter, and since she started, I think it was in 2005, she's added on. So there's a common area that houses the dogs, and they're huge. Each enclosure is really large, and it has an indoor space and it has an outdoor space. And then there's the intensive care unit. And so that's where all the intakes of the dogs go to first. And so they're checked out for any kind of disease. And there is a cancer that's quite prevalent, and I can't think of the name of it. It's called TB something. It's very prevalent in the Mexican dogs down there. It has to do with their genitals and stuff. And of course, there's ticks, there's mange. Like Sadie here, when she was found on the street, basically had no hair. Her skin was all swollen. She was full of ticks and mange. They thought she was dead when they saw her on the side of the road.
Can I interrupt you for just 1 second?
Yeah.
Geek Boy just donated $100. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Geek Boy, thank you so much.
Okay, keep going. Sorry, I wanted to throw that in there.
I hope you can keep interrupting her.
But so they thought she was dead on the side of the road, and so, but they're not going to leave a body on the side of the road, so they went to pick up her body, and she moved, and so she spent over 3 months in intensive care, and that was in December of 2016 that I first saw her story. And I cried and cried. I cried over this dog so much. I had never seen her, like met her in real life. And it was 3 months later that I actually went and met her in real life. And she was still in intensive care. And I fell totally in love with her, and now she's here. So they have the intensive care unit, and that's where all intakes go there first. And then there's another section that Janice has built onto it, because it all takes time, section by section by section. So there was another section that was for mother dogs, because they get in an awful lot of pregnant dogs. And so it's got little tents set up in it and mats down on the floor so that the mothers can birth their babies in peace and quiet and cleanliness and safety. And then she built a therapy pool, and all that's left of that therapy pool is one kind of a section of a rock wall. The rest of it's gone. But she built a therapy pool because so many dogs get hit by cars there, and they're just left in the ditch to die. And so there's an awful lot of dogs that are paralyzed. And so she built this therapy pool. And there was this little guy, his name's Ryder. And I met him, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And he's a little chihuahua, a little brown and white chihuahua. And, you know, he wore this little apron because, again, he was paralyzed in his back leg, but he'd pee every once in a while, you know, because he couldn't control it. But he had this little bib apron thing on. And, God, he was the sweetest little guy. But anyways, he had a really nice set of wheels, but they put him in that therapy pool, and his back legs actually move.
Oh my goodness.
When he swims in the pool. And, oh yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing to see that video of him moving his little back legs. And anyways, he's adopted, and he went to Seattle area, I think. He was adopted and went to Seattle. And then they had another little area that
Lisa
was for dogs that crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. And so there's an area there because they do everything they can to save the animals and their life. But, you know, sometimes they're just too far gone and they pass away. So they have a special, or had a special memorial area for those animals. And they have 3 or 4 different playgrounds, and it was just such a beautiful place. Like there was I'm not sure how to say the name of the flower or the plant, bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea.
They're like a bush plant, tree plant, and beautiful pink flowers all along. And they played classical music. Was piped through the whole entire area all day long for the animals because it was very calming and yeah, something else. And there's dogs that live there forever because they're just not adoptable, or you know, not too many times do you see people that want to adopt a paralyzed dog. So some dogs live out their life there, but their quarters are beautiful. It's like they live in a house. So it was an amazing place, and it was very heartbreaking to see the devastation that happened on Saturday night. It just broke my heart.
Yeah.
Sandy, you said most of them went to the U.S. or Canada when they got adopted?
Yeah, most of the dogs that are rescued by the Puerto Vallarta SPCA, they end up in the United States and Canada. Actually, I would say almost more in Canada than in the United States. WestJet and Air Transit will fly dogs for the Puerto Vallarta SPCA for free. And that, like Air Canada, they won't. No way. They want the money. But anyways, as long as we have the flight angel, which means somebody just to escort the dogs, they have no financial responsibility, nothing. They're just on the same flight, and when they land somewhere, then they claim the dog out of customs, and then the person who adopted the dog is standing outside waiting for them. And so, but there's no cost to the person that's escorting the dog, and all fees are covered by the SPCA. That person who is a flight angel gets an envelope and it's got money in it because there's a customs fee or something to get the dog out of customs. But the SPCA covers all that cost as well. Well, that comes out of the adoption fee, I'm sure. But yeah, it's so yeah, most of these dogs end up in the U.S. and Canada.
I think it's amazing, and it's for anybody just joining this. This dog sanctuary got hit by a hurricane Saturday and pretty much destroyed, and we are trying to raise some money for them to rebuild it for these dogs.
Yeah.
And like Sandy says, most of them end up in the U.S. and Canada, and they're very, very well taken care of. They pull them off the streets. A lot of them have been hit by cars or are injured, and they take care of them, get them adopted when they can, and fly them where they need to fly them so they have a home. And it is like such a worthy cause. If anybody can help, even with $1 or $5, everything is going to be so much appreciated to rebuild the sanctuary.
Yeah, like even a price of a cup of coffee, you know. But like this girl right here, she's a Puerto Vallarta puppy. I brought her home from Puerto Vallarta, and she's been an amazing dog. I was really worried because, you know, she spent the first year of her life on the streets. And I thought, oh, Lord, what am I getting myself into, you know? Because you think a dog lived on the street for the first year of their life, and she almost died there. And she's never, not once, ever made a mess in the house. And she's the sweetest. See, look at those eyes, right? They get every time. But she's like the sweetest dog in the whole entire world.
She looks, her look at you. She loves you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good girl.
So, everybody out there, not only are we trying to like help rebuild the sanctuary, but if you're looking for a dog sometime, this would be a very good place to look. To save a dog.
Yeah,
basically, you are saving a dog.
Yeah, because the Puerto Vallarta SPCA is an absolute no-kill shelter, and they do everything in their power to save a dog's life. On my video that I released today, there's a little short clip on there of a dog named Karma, and she's kind of like a bully type breed. Like she looks like that, but she just doesn't act like that. But she was hit by a car, left in a ditch, and spent probably who knows how long in the ditch. And both her back legs were totally mangled, and so both back legs had to be removed. And the resilience of that dog was just absolutely totally amazing. Within a couple of days, she learned how to balance herself on her two front legs, so that her, like where she was all bandaged from both her back legs being removed, was up off the ground, and she was walking on her two front legs. And a couple from, again, I think it was the Seattle area, saw her story, and they donated a set of wheels for her. You should see that dog go. Like she motors faster than any dog you can imagine on those set of wheels, and she runs around the house on her two front legs. But the SPCA never gave up on her, and now she's adopted and she's living a wonderful life.
Yeah. So what I'm telling people is, it's good. we need to go past even helping them rebuild. We need to keep supporting them. And like I say, and if you're looking for a lifetime friend and puppy, this would be a really good place for you to start.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, check them out they're on Facebook. They do have a website, and it's just, you just punch in Puerto Vallarta, SPCA. You can find their Facebook page, their website. But their Facebook page, it's good because it has a photo album in there that'll show what dogs are up for adoption. And how else? That's probably the easiest way. But I'll give you all a hint. Janice Chatterton, who was the founder, but she passed away a couple of years ago, hated crates. She didn't believe in crates. She didn't believe in that dogs should ever be in a crate. And so, if you want to adopt a dog, don't ever say the word crate in your application. Even if you use them, just don't put it in there. Because if you do, then you'll be denied applications. That's just the way she was, and as far as I know, they still go by that.
What's required to adopt? I mean, do you have to go there?
No, you don't have to go there at all. No, you don't have to go there at all. If you're on their Facebook page or on their website and you see a dog that really resonates with you, then there's an application. I don't know if the application's on the Facebook. It might just be on the web page. And you just fill out the application. And you pay an adoption fee, which is pretty standard for anywhere. I think it was 300 and something. And if you're accepted, then they'll find the flight angel. They'll do everything from their end. All vet. The dog will be spayed or neutered. It'll be all vetted, all shot. Everything will be done. The paperwork will be done by them. The flight will be found by them. The flight will be booked by them. They'll tell you when the dog's coming. You go to the airport and you pick up your dog. Like I flew home the time that I adopted Sadie. I didn't make a decision right away. I flew home on the Tuesday, and my first thought when I woke up Wednesday morning was Sadie. I'm like, oh my God, I wonder how Sadie's doing. That day, I messaged Janice because I had gotten to know her, and I said, I want to adopt Sadie. So on a Wednesday, I decided to adopt Sadie. I put my application in, whatnot. I had her by Saturday. I went and picked her up by Saturday.
Awesome.
The hardest part was because I live in, most of the dogs go to the West Coast because there's more flights to the West Coast. Most flights to Toronto, Ontario is Air Canada, and they won't fly for free. So you gotta to find a flight from Puerto Vallarta to WestJet or Air Transit is kind of hard, and to find a flight angel. But we managed through some of my friends that I've made down there over the years to find somebody that would be a flight angel, and I had her by Saturday, 4 days later.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Melvin.
So it's a pretty amazing place, and it's, it's sad that we, because I've been volunteering there for 6 years, and it's just sad that, in the blink of an eye, it's gone. I think I said in your stream, Bob, that it was a little tiny creek that used to that run along the back of the building. And I took Sadie for a walk there the one day when I went to visit her, and it was only like 6 feet wide and 9 inches deep, and it turned into a raging, huge river and just swept everything away. So it's
Yeah,
crazy what a hurricane can do.
those pictures were amazing. Sad.
Yeah, and like in my video that I released today, in the beginning of it, it shows how beautiful the sanctuary was. When it's in its glory, and then of course pictures of what it is now. So, but the dogs are safe that they saved, and some of them have been put in foster homes in Puerto Vallarta for the time being. But they're some of the larger dogs, people don't want to foster them, but they'll handle them. They'll take care of them. But the medical needs is high as well, right? So,
Yeah.
because there were some dogs that had just had surgery, and again, I think there was like 2 or 3 dogs that just had limbs removed. So you got to watch for infection because of everything. The volunteers and the staff there are doing a amazing job.
Yeah, they sound incredible. They really do.
The whole place sounds incredible. I hope that we can raise a little bit for them. Get them
Yeah,
on their feet and get the buildings and stuff replaced and built up again.
yeah.
Gary
Like I
says,
said in Bob's stream, I'm 62 years old, and so I'm planning on retiring soon. And my whole plan was to, go down there. Well, for the beginning, for 6 months of the year before I go down forever, but for 6 months, 5 to 6 months of the year, but my whole plan, and I've talked to the directors and stuff that are there now, and that's what I was going to do, just comb the streets and rescue animals every day, because that's where I'm happy. I'm not happy up here, but when I'm down there, I'm in my happy place.
yeah.
And so it was pretty devastating when I saw a post on Sunday morning about what had happened and the pictures and stuff. That was just,
Pam, did you see Terry's comment?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he donated $50, which he put in my PayPal, and I will transfer it over after the stream.
Wonder why
thank you, Terry, so much.
it
Thank you,
worked
Terry.
for Geek Boy. Wonder why it didn't work for him.
I'll tell you, this fish fam rocks. It's, well, you guys are my family, and
Yeah, we are.
man, you guys are the best ever. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have y'all. Absolutely.
Yeah, fish streams, that's what we were saying in the earlier stream. There's so much, especially with all the catastrophes now and the weather and the fires and all that, that there's plenty to pick from. So you just do what's, you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dee Dee, that's true.
Yeah, Deborah, it took a lot of years to find my happy place, but I'll tell you, 6 years ago when I first went, the first time I ever went to Puerto Vallarta, I knew that someday I would move there. And it's been killing me ever since this COVID thing hit because I haven't been able to go. I had a planned trip for last April, and I couldn't go. But thankfully I was there just before COVID hit. And I also mentioned how amazing this place is too in Bob's stream earlier. I was there in 2017. I think it was 2017. 17 or 18, when Hurricane Willa decided to show her face on the west coast. Luckily, she turned a little bit, so Puerto Vallarta is situated in the Banderas Bay, so it's surrounded on three sides with mountains. Well, Hurricane Willa thankfully turned a little bit. We got huge storm surges in the ocean and a lot of rain and wind and stuff, but it wasn't damaging. But I got a call from Janice Patterson the night that it was supposed to come, and because I was in Puerto Vallarta, and she knew I was there, and needing help to relocate 108 dogs. And so we all rallied together, and people came with their vehicles to help, and we managed to get 108 dogs out of the shelter, and we set them up in the Hacienda St. Angel, which was Richard Burton's house back in the day. Casa Kimberly's right across the street, which he bought for Elizabeth Taylor. And both of them are 5-star luxury boutique hotels, and we set up 108 dogs in there. And those dogs stayed in style for that night, I'll tell you. But that's how dedicated she was. And so, yeah, that was fun. And then,
Terry,
of course, the next day, because nothing really happened, we trucked them all back to the shelter.
Terry, they are the same, and I know they are because I just researched that not even 2 weeks ago when I started seeing the arm shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Janice moved to Mexico several years ago. She was originally from California, and she saw the need for animals to be helped and stuff. So obviously she was quite wealthy because she bought both Hacienda St. Angel and Casa Kimberly. She owned both of them. And and she made them into beautiful hotels and beautiful restaurants. And, continued the story of Richard Burton and Liz Taylor. But, it came apparently clear to all of us that when she passed away, and she always, said, nope, it's totally run on donations, the SPCA, she'd say. Well, when she passed away, we all soon realized that a lot of her money went into that place as well, even though she would never, ever, ever take credit for it. And they struggled for a while, but we bounced back, and we're doing really well. But not so much.
Fish Stream said I applied for a job there.
Okay, so the donation from Terry's Tropical Tanks, I just put it in there. And I put it under anonymous, but we are up to $478 now.
Awesome.
Because
Wow.
Mike also donated $10.
Thank
And
you,
then Geek Boy donated $100 earlier. So we're doing good. We're doing good.
I tell you, the fish fam rock. It really does. Like, especially when it comes to animals, if there's a help is needed, fish fam always is there. And I'm forever grateful. Forever grateful.
Dee Dee, I started it about 20 years before I retired, and it got to be 2 full-time jobs. So it's such a relief now just to have one job. But I love it.
Fish Streams, are you talking about the SPCA TV?
Just wondering about that. Yes, Terry, they are. There should be a couple of them behind me in that tank.
put my glasses on. I won't be able to read it.
Look in some of the blogs, Terry. Danny. That's where I found it. I can't remember which one. Sometimes Google hadn't caught up to new things like that, but like where the breeders and the OGs hang out in the blogs.
Carrie, your donation was amazing. Don't worry about that because you know what? That money will go a long way in medication and vet bills for there.
Terry bought a bunch of art.
Yeah.
or bought some art.
I want everybody to know that I'm using my University of Neon Tetra cup tonight. And Bob's got his cup.
Yep. Where's it at?
Don't feel like we could probably talk about fish now. Unless anybody has any other questions. Every 3 to 5 business days, GoFundMe deposits the money into my account, and I transfer it right away. I have the directors transfer information and stuff, so it gets transferred right away. So every time GoFundMe deposits, then I
And if anybody does like a thing like PayPal or anything like that, like if you use PayPal, be sure to hit the friends and family button on it because it takes quite a bit out. If you don't, like PayPal itself takes a lot out of it.
Yep.
I've never used PayPal for anything. I don't know how to use it.
Sandy, are they a not-for-profit? In other words, is it a legitimate tax deductible charity or?
What's that? Mine? What?
Yeah, the shelter. Are they not-for-profit?
That's a good question. Because they're a total nonprofit organization.
And I don't know how that would work in Mexico, like a not-for-profit.
Yeah, see, that part I don't know either. I don't know that part either. All I know is that it's a nonprofit organization. Everything that anybody ever donates to there goes right back into it. So that part I have no idea about. I don't know.
It doesn't matter to most people, but every now and then at the ARC, we get somebody that really wants their letter, that in our 501c3.
Oh, right. I mean, that they can submit to their income tax or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know, I've donated a hell of a lot of money to them over the years. I've never asked for a relief.
Yep, I can relate.
And I got the link for the GoFundMe is at the top of the screen, like pinned up there. If anybody wants to even donate $5.
And sharing that link out too.
And share it, yeah. If you click on the link, it'll give you an option. You don't even have to donate. It'll give you an option to share it on the different social medias, which also will help tremendously.
Yeah, because I understand that people don't have a lot of money, and so just by going on there and hitting the share button and sharing it out on your social media, just puts the word out there even more. And so, I appreciate that. Just money, and while the shelter would appreciate that more than just money. And just getting the word out there.
Edie says that Zazzle's a little over an hour away from her. That might be another rabbit hole for me. Who said they got a blue Acara today? Oh, it was Dee Dee. Is it a blue or a electric blue? It seems like the original ones are coming back, the blues, the yellows, and the blacks, the original colors, which are beautiful. Nick. Oh, wow.
Right, Maria? I agree. I want one of those mugs too.
Well, they're very rare, Maria. I got 3 of them because they were like $18 plus shipping each. One goes to Rocco and one to Jess because they're going to have them on their morning show. So
My cup is very rare too.
yeah, I bet. Oh, nice, Dee Dee. Those are beautiful.
Hi, Bunny.
Hey, Bunny.
Oh, but Bunny's here, and I didn't even say hi to everybody, so it's a little bit late now. But hello, everybody.
Felt slighted.
Yep. Didn't do it on purpose. I just got busy, and I have to apologize because I don't have anything to give away tonight, but I promise I will next week. And later on this week, I am going to, as soon as we have a day that's not rainy, because we had thunderstorms today, and I think tomorrow.
Nice.
But I'm going to be going for a ride looking for a moose, and I'll bring my camera along. And the first people that see that will be the my members, and I'll probably post it on Patreon too. So I hope I can find a good moose. Fall is my favorite time of the year. I love fall.
BJ, watch Bob Kaler's latest video. You'll see an amazing mug.
What did
Or I'll show you my amazing mug one more time. It's my Universe of Neon Tetra mug. I think that's what it stands for anyway. That's the closest thing I could think of to it. Good night, Daniel.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
See you, Daniel. Stay safe.
No, I don't need a police escort, Mike. Thank you very much.
It's a good thing you don't need one. I'm telling you.
It was pretty easy to set up for members. It took me a while because I had to think about you have to have some emojis and you need to have some little different symbols for different, how long people have been a member, and I see that some people are showing up with the beta membership thing, which is like 2 months.
You can do custom, like you said, emojis.
Yeah, custom emojis and then your custom things for the members.
You could, I couldn't, but you know what I mean.
I'm gonna check and see if you can have so many custom emojis for however many members. I'm not sure what it is on, but the next one that I put up is gonna be a bless your heart one.
Oh no.
I never knew what that meant. Bless your heart. Until I was down in Puerto Vallarta and I was staying at a friend's place, and this woman, she said something about bless your heart, and I went, oh, isn't that nice? Well, then she told me what it really meant, and I thought, oh, that's not so nice. Now every time I hear that, I think it's really funny.
It's a southern way of making everything sound nice,
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what it meant until about a year and a half ago.
She had that baby 6 months after they were married, bless her heart, stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, Natural.
Hey, Ryan.
But I figured we need a bless your heart sticker for my chat anyway.
Aw, Yazzie.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, I didn't think y'all could see him. He's way so far down. He's in
He looks
heaven
so
because
comfy.
he's getting to see and hear Pam. So he's just snoozing away.
He looks so comfy.
Yeah, right, BJ?
Sandy, I will hit the GoFundMe again after the stream.
That'd be awesome.
I don't want to, well, you know, the button. I don't want to play with the buttons right now.
And BJ made a $25 donation.
Awesome, BJ.
Oh, BJ, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
We are up to $503.
Wow. I'll tell you, Fish Fam rock.
Yep.
We're going to rebuild that place, believe you me. And if I have to go down there and
Ivanovsky.
do it myself, I will.
Sandy, I don't know if you saw Jess on at the start, Main's Tales, Jess. But she said, hey, lady, I didn't know you went on a live stream. That might be something to think about to guest on some other streams. I mean, I know you're like me, you don't like to.
Liberty Bell Cichlids, hello.
But some of the streams that are people that are not here, you know, different times and stuff. There she is.
It's just really hard for me, especially with Jess's stream, because, you know, I work so late at night.
Yeah, and you're off today, so
Yeah.
that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, they can maybe share the link, the GoFundMe, and Jess is right there, and I'm setting her up for all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm always still sound asleep during Jess's stream. That's like, ooh, I'm just barely been to bed when she goes.
I know, that's me too. It's like I'm lucky if I am up by 12:30 or 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Today it was 1:30. I didn't get up till 1:30.
We were talking this morning at 5, Sandy and I I hadn't been to bed yet.
Yeah, Bob and I were chatting in the middle of the night last night.
I said,
Yep,
good
I've
night.
got another month covered, Bunny.
Awesome. Hey, Liberty Bell Cichlids that has a store on Get Tales. Jess said, you bet.
That'd be great, Jess.
She's got that video too she did today. So, Jess, I'm sending your cup tomorrow and Rocco's too. Got them today. Mug. Whatever.
I'll be right back.
Oh, somebody's snoring.
So yeah, the GoFundMe is posted at the top of the page if anybody wants to donate. It's a good cause, not only for right now for them to rebuild from the hurricane, but it's a good cause, period. Because it sounds like just a really, really special sanctuary.
It really does. They've got a lot of great services that some places just can't afford or don't have.
Yeah.
So, did either one of you get new fish lately? I know Bob got a beautiful snake.
Yeah, got the snake.
And then he sent me a real pretty one.
Damn.
Oh wait, it went to Mike accidentally, but Mike's gonna send it to me.
Right. Don't bring up that accidental shipping.
I know, huh?
No, I haven't got. I got those self-in mollies. should be, wait a minute, there. And they're doing awesome. They're getting along great. The saltwater ones, and they're big old guys, and they're eating as fast as they can that algae.
Nice.
They love it, I think. The other fish don't even know what to think about them, so they ignore them.
Hey, Jess, if I wake up early enough when you're still on, I'll take you up on that for sure. But gosh, I'm usually in bed till between 12 and 1 anyway.
Yeah, that's me. I usually go to bed around between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And then I get up around noon or so.
Because on like my Monday and Tuesday, I work until 2 a.m. in the morning, so I don't get home till about 12:30 or 2:30 in the morning. And then of course I'm up until 4:30. Usually on chatting on Kevin's stream or something.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand is just because you get home from work at a certain time, that doesn't mean that's when you go to bed.
Oh, I can't. No,
You can't
go to
get
bed right away.
yeah, I couldn't either. I couldn't come home from work and then go to bed.
But then Friday and Saturday, I'm usually out of work by, well, close to 1 o'clock, so like an hour earlier. But still, I stay up until all hours of the night. Because I have my dog to look after and, second feeding of the fish and whatnot before I go to bed. And you too.
What's the S? Oh, snake bed.
Bunny Viper has a parrot, an African gray.
Oh, wow.
I used to have a Tucuman Amazon parrot. Nasty bugger.
I've never had a parrot. I've had a couple of cockatiels before, but I've never had a parrot.
I had cockatiels too. Cuss like sailors.
Hmm.
Ah. Yeah, I got those parakeets. Damn those. Bunny, do you know Susie Q Aquatics? She's got a severe macaw. Sophie. Some real cool videos on her.
Oh, those are pretty, Maria. They're beautiful birds.
You know, parakeets are $50 now at Petco. $49.99
For a parakeet?
a parakeet.
Wow.
I paid $24.99 for my last two, but that
Yeah,
was
I think the last ones I got were like $12.99.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
that's
the two I got when that lolly parrot died were like 18 or something, 16, 18. But yeah, they doubled in the last 6 months, I guess. Oh, fish swap the other day. I was waiting and finally realized it was a lot of snakes. Oh, well, I did go to a fish swap too, I guess the weekend before Didi. Ed and James and Robert, we were all at that one, but yeah, the next one was a fish swap. I mean, a Repticon. $29.98. It's $20 cheaper, Danny. Yep, they have, John.
Everything is going up. I mean,
Yes,
even groceries and everything has gone up so much in the last year.
I got groceries the other day and I was like, I can't believe this.
I went to my little local fish store down the street because they said they had lemon tetras there, and I thought, oh, I like those. And they wanted $7.99 each. Oh, holy moly!
No.
So I turned around and walked back out. Last I saw, they were like $3.99 each.
Yeah, Bunny, the kids were wanting to hold the parakeets. Their wings are clipped, at Petco, and the lady, the manager, I know her, she was explaining to them that, no, since they're warm-blooded, that they can't let people handle them. It'd be too risky for the birds. So. Oh, I bet at least 2,000 or 3,000, Bunny, if not more.
Here, Mama. Here. Hello. Here. Where'd you go? Go get it. Go get it. Go get your toy.
Still does not talk. Mostly
Come on, show everybody.
claps and makes sounds.
You gotta show everybody how cute you are. Yeah. See? Show everybody how cute you are.
Hey, Priscilla, what you moving? I need to know.
Has anybody heard if Amber's made it down to Florida yet?
I haven't, and I was just thinking I need to send her a message and get her mailing address so I can send her something.
I got a picture of her cats 2 or 3 days ago, but I think it may have been a group picture, to different people. I'm not sure. And I just said, oh, they're cute or something. They were in the carrier, and I guess she was still moving or it just got there or something.
Oh.
She did. Fish Stream said Amber did get there.
Good.
Well, I look forward to seeing some. She did amazing work with that last house, so I can't imagine what she'll do with this one. So I look forward to seeing updates on that.
Yeah, she's going to have awesome setups there.
How are those beautiful babies you got from her, Bob?
Oh, God, they're so beautiful. They're growing. And I've made pigs out of them. You have to be careful, of course. But
Hey, Susan.
I've fed them already tonight. Their lights off over there.
Yeah.
They seem to like that little desk that I call the beta bar.
I like that. That whole setup is cool.
He's got a nest built again on there. I'm so tempted to put the female with it from her.
Nice, Susan.
I remember they're saying that the place she got was really dirty and it took her 2 days of cleaning before she could move in. I remember renting a house one time sight unseen because we were moving to another state, and the lady, I thought she told me on the phone that they had kept cats in the back room and it was really messy. And I thought, well, that's no big deal, but okay. So when we got there, I quickly realized that she had said calves. Like calves in the back room. They had kept calves in the back room.
Oh my God.
As in small cows.
Heifers.
Yes. Which made a little bit of a difference in how messy the back room was.
Yeah.
Because cat shit is nasty, but it's not as big as calves shit.
None of that smells
Wow.
good. Oh, Priscilla's just kidding. She's moving one of her tanks.
Oh, I thought she was getting ready to move to California.
I know, right? Terry, does the therapist come there? Or does she have to go to them? Surely they come there.
Oh, I remember when Tucker was almost 4 years old and he had never spoken a word. He had his own little sign language. He would let me know what he wanted and stuff, but he had never spoken a word. And I took him to the doctor because one of his grandmothers insisted that I get him checked out because she thought maybe there was something wrong with his tongue or something like that. So I took him to the doctor, and I was so pissed off because the doctor didn't even step in the room. He stood in the doorway and handed me papers for handicapped kids and walked out. And that was, he never even walked over and looked at him. I was so mad. And if you guys, those of you who have seen Tucker, you realize he's a very intelligent kid.
Yeah.
And
I got to see this.
Pam, bow your head and move to the camera. I don't know. Anyway, when he started talking was after Courtney was born, and I didn't have time to pay full attention to what he wanted and stuff. Then he just started talking. And when he started talking in full sentences, using big words. The little shit. He totally knew how to talk. He just didn't do it.
One of my cousins had a real bad speech impediment when we were little kids, and we learned how. But it was more than an impediment. Like his little sister was Lillian, and he called her Uun. But we knew we could understand, what he was talking about. And my great aunt started giving him, I think, a dime, which was big bucks back in the 1960s, early 60s. Every time he would pronounce a word correctly like that, she would give him a dime every time. So guess what? He learned to talk real quick. It worked.
Now, when I was young, I remember they sent papers home from school that the teachers wanted me to say over and over and over again, and my parents never did do it. But I didn't pronounce my THs. I'd say duh instead of the. So the teachers had a fit about it and sent a bunch of stuff home and for me to practice on and stuff, which I never did, and I just kind of outgrew it.
Terry said it's the pink in your bow.
Yeah, he said it looks like a pig's nose.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it does. I never really noticed that before, though. Oh, yeah.
Danny says he couldn't say the letter R until he was in the 6th grade. Yeah, I couldn't pronounce my THs. Yep, Dee Dee, that's what Tucker did. He made noises and pointed and had little sign language and stuff to let me know what he wanted. And then one day he just started talking. And when he started talking, he started telling me about a movie that we'd seen the night before with a haunted house. And he was using big words and everything in full sentences. And I'm just sitting there staring at him, okay.
Who are you? I know he's super smart and a DEA agent to boot.
Yeah. Oh, fishy dreams, that's very nice, but not true, but that's really nice of you to say so.
Agreed. This dream.
See, Pam? I was serious when I said, would that be a good place for doing how to move that Porta, whatever, Valara? Yeah. Silence. When Sandy moves there, Sam and I are going to go visit her.
Yes, that I can do, definitely.
Yeah.
A rosy glow, that must be my coffee.
Usually it means a girl's with a child.
Oh, well, that ain't gonna happen.
Let me look at her, see what she's got going on. Your cheeks are a little red, Pam.
Okay, time to change the subject away from rosy cheeks.
You know, I was just wondering, like a fever or something like that.
Or fireball.
Flushed. Oh, okay. Whoops. How about those Braves?
I have a whole bunch more Fleckle babies.
You added a bunch more what?
Fleckle babies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Must
What
have
kind?
I've got some green dragons.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I have one of the leaves. I think it's a leaf, or maybe it's Marina. The larger breeder box, you know, that has the air driven part.
Yeah, I've
And
got a
it,
couple of those. I like those.
yeah, but I gotta move. I've got a whole batch of long fin albino and long fin brown babies in there. I have to move into a shoebox or something bigger because they're bursting at the seams. But I'm excited for the green dragons. I was really worried they weren't gonna hatch, but they finally did, and they're doing good.
I know, right, Terry? What's a magic stick, Dee Dee? I'll buy it.
I still got my Sand Creek shirt on.
I started to change back into mine so we could be twins, and I forgot it.
Yeah, we were almost twins this afternoon.
Don't ask about the magic stick, Mike. I trust you then. I'm naive about these things.
See how the fundraiser's doing. We're sitting at $503.
Wow, that's amazing. That'll go a long way for the vet bills and stuff.
I don't know that song, Dee Dee.
But he does know how to play naked stickball on the street.
Only senior edition. Ah, is it a T-shirt? Fish dreams. I didn't even show my shirt tonight, did I? I showed it earlier. It's the one from Florida Fish Rescue String.
Well, don't stand up because we know you don't have pants on.
I do have something on. It's not.
Look at Yazzie.
I'm sorry, baby. Lay back down.
I should tell you about one of the. I just thought of it, and one of the rescues that I did go on that is quite remarkable, really. There's there's areas in Puerto Vallarta which are basically built to be runoff from the mountains, and there was this little white dog that somebody reported that had been hanging out underneath a bridge. So I happened to be at the shelter that day, and so I went along with them to see if we could find this dog. So we get down there, and sure enough, there was the dog, and she was quite friendly. She didn't run away from us when we approached her or anything like that. And she kind of made a little nest behind some cement uh, rubble, because there's a lot of that down there. So there's the cement rubble, and she made a little nest back in there. So we go up to her, and she was quite friendly. And this is where that nursery area come in handy. She was so massively pregnant.
Oh no.
Oh, like massive, huge. And one of the first things that one of the girls checked to see if she had any milk, to see, how soon. And sure enough, she had milk already coming. So we took her back to the sanctuary, and we took her to the nursery, and we set up her little tent. And like what I mean by a tent is we actually use like little tiny pup tents, like a one-person tent,
Yeah.
and it's with a like foam stuff on the bottom, so it's nice and soft and everything. And that girl had 13 puppies,
Oh my gosh.
and like I bet you within 5 hours she started having puppies. And she had 13 puppies, and they were every color under the rainbow, but the cutest little things. And yeah, that was a happy rescue. I mean, there's a lot of sad ones.
She probably had a lot of boyfriends.
Yeah. Man, she was huge.
Hey, Zany Mac, how are you?
I feel like
And
I'm
then
being undressed
there
in
was
the
another
chat.
guy that I wasn't in Puerto Vallarta at the time, but somebody sent me a message and a picture of a dog on the street, so emaciated, like he just looked like a skeleton with skin draped over him.
Ugh.
And so I messaged my friend Laura to get a hold of uh, the SPCA, and they went right away. And he was still alive when they got there, but he basically passed away in the rescuer's arms.
Oh.
So, yeah. So at least he felt love before he died. He might have not had love all his life, but he felt love before he passed away. But that was
Yeah, though.
Jordy.
Who's that, Sadie?
Well, there's a lot of kids who like that. What are you barking at?
So those of you coming in tonight, we're trying to raise money to help a dog shelter in Mexico, which we've been talking about. And it got hit over the weekend by Hurricane Nora and totally destroyed the shelter. And it sounds like it's like really an awesome shelter. They had they would take in dogs that got hit by cars and dogs that had to have limbs removed, and they'd build them little wheel runner things. And
Yeah.
they had a swimming pool to treat the dogs, and and their dogs get adopted. A lot of them go to Canada and the United States, and they have it set up where they get the flights for free to get these dogs to people that want to love them. So even if you don't donate, you could share the GoFundMe link. And if you ever want to adopt a dog, keep them in mind.
Yeah.
And it's a no-kill shelter, of course. And they do a lot of rescuing of dogs off the streets.
Sandy, I thought of another thing. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just curious. As a fellow rescuer, the SPCA behind their name, are they a member of the SPCA that we all think about, or is that, did they take that?
Yeah, it's a little bit. I wondered that myself, and I asked, and I think Janice basically just called it that because that's the normal. Because she was from California, right? And so
Right.
I think she just called it that because it's more recognizable. But that shelter, that sanctuary, was one of the very first ever to happen down there. Like really before Janice, there wasn't really anything there. Like there are other uh, rescues and stuff there, but she was the first. And I think she just named it the SPCA because that was more of a recognizable.
Yeah, our county shelter here uses SPCA in their name, but they're not officially attached to. So
yeah.
I'm just curious.
Well, I think it's the same way down there. I don't know. Like I've gone to an awful lot of humane societies. Well, we call them humane societies up here, and and in all honesty, and in all my years, I've never seen anything as amazing as that place was. And like I said, you go in there, and throughout the whole entire building was, classic, like very calming classical music played for the animals, and that's what it was for. It was for the animals. And yeah, it was just a beautiful place.
And we're going to help them rebuild it.
Yeah.
Which is what we're working on tonight.
Yeah. Because it's a nice chunk of land they have on the outskirts of the city, and they keep it secret. Well, it's not really secret, but fairly secret from a lot of the locals. And so it's like on the outskirts, there's quite a good chunk of land. So from what I understand, when they rebuild, they're going to rebuild away from the creek. Oh, yeah. Which never happens again.
Yeah.
But like it's been there. Like she started it in 2005, and it's gone through a lot of hurricanes, tropical storms, and everything else that they had down there. But this time it just didn't survive it.
I did share the GoFundMe on my Facebook, so hopefully.
Yeah, I did too.
Thank you, Bob.
People will pick it up, Uh-oh. There's the old cat Holly.
Shameless plug. If anybody wants to see how beautiful that place was and what it's like now, I did release a video late this afternoon, and so you could see how beautiful it was, and a couple examples of before and afters of dogs that were rescued, and what it looks like now. Just a little shameless plug to my family.
Well, they've been posting the link to it too, so it's not not so much a plug. There it is, right there again. Maria posted.
Yeah.
When they said Pam was street smart, have you guys seen the thing? I don't know if it's on Instagram or YouTube where it's usually like a teenage girl. She'll get her grandmother to sit with her and start making up this thing about I've applied for this grant or for this scholarship or whatever, and I don't want to be like my grandmother. She was a prostitute for 30 years. And the grandmother will say, what the hell are you talking about? And they just make up something and it's a joke. That's the funniest thing. Some of those grandmothers.
I'll bet.
One of them said, fool, what are you talking about? I waste too much time on there, but whatever. Whatever.
If it makes you laugh, it's not a waste of time.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my philosophy.
Exactly.
Thank you, Maria. Carrie says, Pam won't let me up because she knows better.
I let you up on my last stream.
That's right. Yep. That's when you learn better, right?
And I never learn because, Bob's up here every week.
That's right. It's only uphill from there, right?
Mm.
Terry said he bribed you.
Woohoo, we're up to $533 now, Sandy.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm going to have to get in there and do my thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Totally amazing.
When are you planning on retiring, Sandy?
I'm retiring.
When are you planning on, as related to moving there, etc.?
I'm hoping, well, I'd like to do it before I'm 65, so, but I think I'm going to have to probably work till I'm 65 because I made that foolish decision to buy a brand new truck. So yeah, 3 years, 3.5 years. And, I have been planning for the last several years that I won't sell my house or anything here. I'll keep my house because I do have an apartment upstairs that I rent out. And so, but I would like to move down to Puerto Vallarta for 5 to 6 months out of the year for 2 years and see. And you know what? If I love it down there, then I'll move down there year round. But that's been my plan for the last several years. Anyway.
How often do they get those hurricanes? That's 3 and
Well,
or 2.
when I was there, I believe it was 2017 when Hurricane Willa came by, and then there really hasn't been anything since. But they do get tropical storms.
Right.
But that all happens during our summer months. So from May till October-ish, they get a lot of rain. And it's hot as Hades down there and very humid. That's why I normally go in February or March. But yeah, they don't really, and I think it was before there was ever any kind of devastation like this. It was way back. Hurricane, I can't remember the name of it, but it was several years ago that they got hit real hard. So that's why I'm thinking I'll go the 6 months out of the year when you're in hurricane.
Terry's ready to retire tomorrow.
Danny, what do you mean? What's that in pesos? Like how much money is $500 in pesos? Well,
$1 million.
I think I mentioned Bob's stream the last time I went down there just before COVID. I had $1,200 Canadian, which was equivalent to 14,000 pesos. So I don't know, $500 would be 6,000 or 7,000 pesos, maybe. I don't know what the exchange rate is right now. And when it comes to American versus pesos, I have that too, because the American dollar is worth so much more than ours.
Oh, you had Canadian dollars.
Okay, Dee Dee, thank you for stopping in.
See you, Dee Dee. Second bathroom.
$7,003 pesos. Very nice.
What's that?
That'll spay or neuter about 50 dogs down in Mexico.
That's
Oh,
good.
that's another thing that the shelter does, Bob and Pam, is once a month they do a free spay and neuter clinic, and
Nice.
they usually, for all the locals, it's totally free, and they can do in one day probably about 50 dogs and a couple dozen cats in one day.
Wow.
And it's totally free to all the locals. And the sanctuary, the SPCA, totally does that.
Yeah, I took Mario to one of those to get him neutered, and it was at a high school. And they had a bunch of vets in there, and they had like cafeteria tables set up with sheets on them, and they were just like doing them right there in front of everybody. It was
Wow.
and I
You
had
don't have
three different
like that.
three of the kids that were helping him asked me if told me that they would like to have Mario because they thought he was pretty cool. I don't know why.
They didn't know him. He was
We don't have
unconscious.
anything like that up here in Canada. That's for sure.
He was unconscious.
It costs like $600 or $700 just to pay a dog.
Yeah, it's expensive, but like I say, they had a clinic set up when I was living in Montana, and I took Mario and got him fixed at that, and they gave him his rabies shots and stuff too.
They do it by weight on dogs, or at least the vet that we use does, because of the amount of anesthesia time and that stuff. It's expensive.
Yeah, we were supposed to. They had everybody like after they were spayed. They had everybody like sitting at tables with their animals, like rubbing them and stuff to get them to wake up before you could go. And it came time to where they were like packing everything up, and Mario was still the only cat there that hadn't woke up yet. He just wouldn't wake up. So they finally sent me home with him still asleep. So I had to bring in the carrier and load him up in that. I wrapped him up in my jacket so he wouldn't get cold, and took him home and waited for him to wake up. Then he peed all over my jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah.
In Naturals, thank you very much for watching the video, and I really appreciate what you said. That's very nice. I'm glad you saw how beautiful the place was. Thank you for checking it out. Where are you guys going? Where are you going?
And I had this one friend I had at the time. He started like, oh man, he was so mad that I got Mario fixed. He said it would shorten his life and blah, 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 blah. I said, you know what shortens a cat's life is when you don't get them fixed and they're out wandering the streets and getting run over.
Yeah, there used to be, and there still is somewhat a mentality here that you should let a dog have one litter of pups. It will be good for them. And actually, it more than doubles their chance to get memory tumors. So,
That and pyometria,
right,
infection of the uterus, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to change cultural things, but it takes time.
Well, getting Mario fixed didn't really change him. He still thinks he's a stud, but he
Right.
doesn't. He stays like when he goes outside, he's in the yard somewhere. I mean, he doesn't wander around all over, but he still walks with the strut,
Right.
Tomcat strut.
Stroll. Got his stroll on.
Yep, yep.
Why you got your toy? You get it.
Well, I don't know. Chat's kind of quiet. I think I might go ahead and shut it down a little bit early tonight.
Well, Pam, I really appreciate you having me up and letting me share my story. And
Well, I think it's awesome, and it's an awesome cause, and I hope a lot of people donate or share the link on their social medias.
yeah, yeah. No, I do. I really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
everybody that donated tonight. Like I say, we got her up to 533. Ryan Brown donated $30.
Awesome.
It's amazing.
So I think it's awesome, and I hope it keeps going. And like I say, I posted it on my Facebook page, and I hope other people do that too. And I
Yeah,
guess
I
that's it.
thank all of you very much. I very much appreciate it. And every time I go on there and brings me to tears, I'm so thankful for all of you. I
Okay,
cried
so
on Bob's stream. I did this, Pam. I didn't cry on your stream like I cried on Bob's stream.
yeah, well, I got tears in my eyes, so that's okay. So I kind of made up for it. So, yeah, I'm going to tell everybody good night. Say good night, everybody.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
For coming up.
Thank
Sam.
you, everybody. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Everybody have a good night, and thank you, everybody, for helping support. And we'll see you later. See you Saturday night.
Thanks, Pam.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.